Okay, so before we go this one, so I would like to say something about the way we could recheck our thesis. Okay, so the idea is very simple. So as I said, when you write your thesis, okay, semua boleh dengar eh? Okay, Woon, you angkat tangan ke?
Oh ya, doktor tadi tadi nak tanya soalan tapi dah lupa lah.
Oh,
Pesan.
okay,
Okey, okey,
okay,
okey. Okey
okay,
tu.
okay. Okay, so I would like to share with you the idea when you write your thesis and the way we could self-check our thesis. Okay, as I said, we start our writing from result and discussion. Okay, so it's a result and discussion. So and then for result and discussion, for sure you will have a lot of results. So you have result one, result two, and so on, and then let's say result number 10. So and then from here, from the result here, you could classify, okay, so result number two, and then for result here, I hope you could classify into certain ideas, so you will get conclusion. So this is your conclusion. So you have conclusion one, conclusion two, conclusion three, and conclusion four. So and then after you get your conclusion, so please check back that this conclusion is actually must be aligned with the objective. So you have the objective here. Okay, so this is the objective that you get. So and then, so this is result and discussion. To get result and discussion here, okay, to get result and discussion, so for sure you will have methodology. You have method here. So in method, you will have uh, device, you will have device and so on. So you have material, for example. So you have condition and so on and so forth. Okay, whether it is experimental works or simulation or whatever, for sure you have all of that. So and then please align this one with your scope here. So you have objective and also you have scope. So normally scope will make sure that your method is okay and so on and so forth. And a part of scope is about limitation. Limit. So limit is actually comes from the result. So this is the idea. So limit is come from the result because in our note just now, so it also talking about the limitation in your result and so on. And then please put that in your scope because, for example, in your result is only for low temperature. So please assume or please write something about low temperature in your scope as your limitation. So if you have nothing to do with the viscosity, you just imagine that viscosity is almost the same for all condition. So and then please put that in your scope. Might be in the first stage, in your proposal stage, you don't know about viscosity. But later on in result discussion, maybe you found that certain equation and so on and so forth. So it's the value of viscosity is fixed. So and then you need to write about that one in your scope. So mean you recheck all your works, the limitation of your works in your scope. Okay. So and then when you get result here, so for sure you could explain about the recommendation. You know until what stage your result is. So and then you could propose the extension evaluation in this research. So this is recommendation. Okay, this is recommendation. So and then this recommendation is actually has something parallel or something in line with your significance of study. Significant, I'm sorry, significance of study. Okay. Okay. So and then finally, so you have this. Okay, everything here is chapter one. Chapter one. So and then you will have chapter two is literature review. So what is literature review? So you could check your literature review is okay. Previously, I said literature review is about the a process where you could get information. Okay, this is for your for proposal stage. So and then finally, when you want to write your thesis, okay, literature review is actually information about your research. Sometimes very common information cannot be right in your literature review because it will make your thesis looks not so good. For example, in my study, okay, in my proposal stage, okay, I search a lot about metal forming because my thesis is about cold metal forming. So in my first in proposal stage, in my literature review, I read a lot about metal forming, the difference of metal forming, and so on and so on and so forth. But I'll not write about that, about metal forming and so on and so forth in my real thesis because the idea of metal forming is actually fixed. So you could get from so many textbooks, and this idea is not something that should be discussed in thesis, in PhD thesis. But before I do this research, it is very important information for me to know the mechanism of metal forming and so on. But in my real thesis, so I omit the idea, the literature review part for metal forming and so on because it is too common. Okay, it might be new for you, it might be new for undergraduate student or master student, but you must imagine that PhD is actually something that very high level. So the common idea, which is the static one, so the knowledge about metal forming is actually static. People not improve the new method about that. For my case, so means that I take out that chapter from my literature review. So the way we could self check our thesis is you need to list out any keyword from your research. For example, from method here, okay, what is the method that you use? So and then might be the condition and so on. What is the condition here? So and then please make here literature review for your thesis. So this is for your thesis, not for gain knowledge anymore. Okay. So and then you have condition and so on. So and then for your result, okay, you also need to make literature review a little bit for your result. For example, if your result is about friction, okay, let's say you have a friction here, because our first conclusion is about friction. So try to create literature review about that nature, about that idea for friction. So and then here another literature review, conclusion number 3 and conclusion number 4 is another literature review. Okay, in simple, literature review means for your thesis. This is for your last stage, for your writing stage. So in your literature review, not all information that you get in the beginning can be stay in literature review chapter for your final thesis. Okay, you need to choose only the significant, only the significant chapter or significant idea can be written in your literature review for your thesis, because we have a limitation of pages. The maximum is 300 pages for PhD thesis, also as well as master thesis. So and then examiner almost always hope that pages for result in discussion more compared to the pages of literature review. So if your literature review is just 100, so please make sure that your result in discussion is around 120. Something like that. So why? because if you write your literature review is too long, more pages compare with result and discussion, examiner will start that you try to bluffing them. You try to explain something which is not suitable for your research or not aligned with your research. Okay, the idea is any ideas that you discuss in result in discussion so must be explained or must be searched previously, must be explained in literature review. Okay, so that is the idea of literature review in your last stage, in your writing stage. So any question from student?
Yes, bro. Means that when we end up our research or thesis, we will go back to the literature review and neglect or remove all the result or the idea not related to our result and discussion. That's all.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, any question?
So far, so good, doctor.
Okay, so I hope you could okay, and then please make sure that you refer to your supervisor again and again every time in your works. Okay. Okay, so okay, let me rest for 1 or 2 minutes. I need to answer somebody phone call.
Okay.